Today, guys, I am in the mood for some pumpkin soup. And I have already chopped up my things that I need. I have some pumpkin here. I have my thyme, my scotch bonnet in the background, some corn, and I also have some cocoa or taro root or something, onion, thyme, scallion, and here I have coconut oil, red chili flakes, turmeric, salt, and a little bit of black pepper. So come with Hope as she prepares her pumpkin soup. The water is on the stove boiling, and we're going to get ready to put all the dries in addition to the coconut oil. So in the pot right now I'm going to put the coconut oil, the red chili flakes, the turmeric, the salt, and the black pepper to kind of taste up the pot a little bit. And I will also add some thyme and some scallion. Into the pot I have put some onions. I will add some more later. And I'm going to add a bit of ginger to heighten the flavors that are going to be in there, especially the pepper. Now, the measurements that you saw of the teaspoon, those are not the actual measurements, guys. I don't really measure, but I just put it there as a point of reference for you guys to see the things that are needed for the perfect Jamaican pumpkin soup. So here is the ginger that I'm going to add. Again, you know, measurement, it's not precise, so just you have to eyeball and make sure that you taste your stuff before you serve it up, saying it's going to be something great that everyone is going to have. Taste your food as you go. Taste your food as you go. All right, so one thing that I do not prescribe to is using boxed vegetable stock. You can make your own stock. When you look at the ingredients on a vegetable stock container, you'll see that they've added sugar to it. When you do it yourself, you know what you're putting into your soup. So practice using your own judgment and putting what you want in the soup for flavoring and so on, because you know how much salt you're adding, you know the amount of pepper you need and so on. With something that is pre-made like that, you don't have the ability to, you know, decide how much of what you want to put in there. All right, make it from scratch, guys. Now I'm going to add the pumpkin that I'd previously cut up. Add it carefully, guys. Don't be like me and get burned. Okay, add it carefully, slowly, and just let it sit until it cooks. Once it cooks, you're going to take out a bit of the pumpkin and some of the juice, and you're going to blend it so that when you are finished with your soup, you will have a pretty nice thick soup. Not no watery stuff, right? A pretty nice thick soup. All right, so let's let that cover that and let that go on. Now when the pumpkin is almost fork tender, go ahead and add the corn and your carrots. You want your corn to really taste nice and juicy, and you want it to be infused with all those wonderful flavors that you have going on in there. You don't want when you pick up the corn it just feels like nothing in your mouth, right? It should be juicy and it should be infused with flavors. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of soup is this? I didn't see you roll up any dumplings. What kind of Jamaican soup is this? Well, this lady is watching her figure, and so I'm not adding any dumplings into it at all. The last thing that I'm going to add in there, which is a bit like yam, is the cocoa, or otherwise known as taro to some people. That's the last thing that I'm going to add in there. And then my scotch bonnet pepper. All right, so you are going to just let your soup do its thing, cover it, and this is not a fast cook. We're not in a race here. Let the thing take time and cook slowly, all right? It's not a race. It's not a race. And remember, guys, I told you that you need to taste your food. So I've just tasted mine and I'm pleased with the pepper level of the soup, but I'm not pleased with the salt level. After all, I'm not cooking ITAL food today, so it needs a little bit more salt to bring out the additional flavors that are in there. And remember, when you're adding your salt, make sure you add sparingly, right? You can't take it out once you mess it up. So add your salt sparingly, taste as you go along. Okay, so I've added the 2 pieces of, don't mind what's going on in the background. Sorry for the fan noise, guys. Things are really getting hot in here. So I've added the 2 pieces of cocoa or taro, and now I'm going to add the blended pumpkin to the soup. Adding the blended pumpkin, guys, will give it a nice thick and rich feel. It won't be watery. And again, take your time with the cooking. Now, guys, here's where the last little bit of magic happens. Adding the Scotch bonnet pepper to the soup. Just for a little bit of flavor, you're going to add the Scotch bonnet pepper to the soup. Make sure you don't make it burst. Otherwise, your tongue, your belly, and your bottom will be paying for it. I remember when my sister some years ago was studying in Indiana, and she came back to Jamaica with her then boyfriend and her boyfriend's friend, and her boyfriend's friend had opened the pot when my mom was cooking something and saw thyme in the pot and said, "You have a whole tree in the pot." That's where you get fear fasting in people pots. Anyway, we love thyme. Okay, the soup is done. I have gingerly removed the Scotch bonnet pepper, and now I'm going to serve it. You see, it's not super watery. It has body. That is what your soup should have when you're finished with it. So I'm going to plate it up and let you see what the final thing looks like. And there you have it, guys. Nicely plated. We have our carrots at the base, some pieces of pumpkin, taro root, and I forgot to tell you I added cassava to it, and we have 2 pieces of corn. Nice, wholesome, hearty soup. Good to have on a rainy day. Now for the tasting. Nice. The flavor of the coconut from the coconut oil is superb, but it's not competing with the flavor of the corn that stands out also, and the pieces of pumpkin. A nice sweetness. Thank you guys for tuning in. So if you love a hearty, delicious soup, no meat added, no soy chunks, just pure things from the earth. Corn, cassava, carrot, thyme, taro root, and pumpkin. Enjoy something wholesome like this. Share it with someone, guys. This is a great recipe for you to share. Fall is coming up for those of you who live in this area of the world, and this is a great soup to have in the fall as it gets colder. Warming to the heart and pleasing to our soul. Comfort food. Tune in next time, guys. Subscribe and like.